there's one problem with selling on Etsy, and it's the fact that there's essentially no community. And I'm trying to build something which is going to help everyone become better together. And the reason why this is actually such a big problem, and it's the same with eBay, it's the same with any sort of online marketplace. The only places that actually have good communities is if you're selling on Shopify. If you're selling on any sort of online marketplace which is regulated by like an entity, it's just not like Shopify. You're not creating your own website. So anything, literally anything, Depop, I don't know, maybe you have something in the US, not on the high street. If you are selling on any of these platforms, then there's a huge problem which basically limits people from being able to grow and improve on the platform. And it's because of gatekeeping. A lot of people just gatekeep everything that they find out on the platform, or anything which they find out on their journey. They gatekeep and they hide that information, and they don't tell other people what they've learned, essentially, because it's like it's all privatized, and it's really hard to grow, and it just basically stops people from growing as quickly as they could be, because no one's helping each other, and they help each other in Shopify, they help each other with paid ads. It's just in these online marketplaces, mainly Etsy and eBay, especially with eBay, there is no help available if you're trying to start out. And if you do try to start out, you basically get shilled into buying a course. Be like, buy my course, I'm going to help you. But the reality is that courses don't actually work. A lot of the time, people that make the courses aren't people who are actually doing what they're saying. I recently saw something on Twitter, and don't get me wrong, there are some guys who do sell good courses, but courses don't work in general. I'll touch on that a little bit later. But I saw some guy on Twitter, right? And I looked him up on YouTube, and the first video he had on his YouTube channel, he was trying to sell a social media marketing agency course, and it was literally a video of his editor exposing him because he didn't pay his editor, and then it was a video of the guy, the scammer, the guru, basically saying, hey, editor, can you cut this bit out? And he was showing a screenshot, like results of his social media agency, supposedly. But the money he was showing was the money he was generating from his course, because he clearly wasn't actually making any money from a social media agency, which is what he was selling the course on. He was just showing the money he was making from his course, like instead of the actual business model which he's selling the course on. So that just shows you that you can't trust a lot of people here. And that is why courses don't work a lot of the time as well. The second reason why courses don't work, if you're looking to buy a course, sure, you might buy it and some might really, really work. A lot of the high ticket courses from people who actually, make a lot of money on the platform, or make a lot of money on whatever they're selling a course on, it's probably going to be a better idea than spending $50 a month on a course or something like that. Because the people who sell the high ticket courses, they sell at high ticket because then it's actually worth it for them to make the money from selling the course, Whereas if you're buying a cheap course, which is what most people buy, 99% of people will buy a $50 a month course, $10 a month course or something like that, and it's not going to be that good. You're just not going to get that amount of value, because people who sell those low ticket courses, basically, either they're doing it on a big scale so they can't actually help you, or they're not actually making a lot of money from the platform. But anyway, I don't want to, shit on the people who sell courses too much. It's not a big deal. But I just wanted to make the point and basically explain what I'm going to do to basically fix this problem. Because I did used to have a course. I used to be 50-50 partnership with my old business partner, and we used to run a course together. And it was really good. We had a community of around 300 people, I think, maybe 200 or 300 people at the peak, paying members. And it did work. Like, some people had the results, but the main problem was that it's just so difficult to sell a course and actually have it work if it's not like super, super in-depth, and you're not having one-to-one calls with people to actually give them the specific advice. Because sure, you can give generic advice and basically apply it to everyone, but if you want to actually grow and you want to actually make the improvements as quickly as possible, you can't give the generic advice. You can't give the same advice to every single person that comes onto your course. So it just won't work. That's why courses don't work, and that's why if you've probably bought a course before, you pay $50 a month or whatever, it's probably why it hasn't worked. And the main way that courses actually work is not by giving the value, it's more so by holding the people that are in the course accountable to actually do the work and start making progress themselves. That's mainly how people actually get the benefit from courses. It's just sort of like being in a community instead of actually the value of the content itself. Hope that makes sense. I hope that gives you sort of an explanation why. And maybe if you're thinking about buying a course, maybe this gives you some sort of evaluation on whether it's a good idea, whether it's a bad idea, etc., etc. But let me explain what I'm doing now. So I've just started my new community, which is called EdPod Connect. And it is not a course. We don't have, I say we, it's me, it's mine. we don't have like any specific sort of value, you know. But EdPod Connect is a new, basically, it's just on a Discord server, and the aim of this Discord server is to have an incredibly tight knit community of either high level sellers or people who are able to add value to the group. It's purely a value exchange based group, and the way I'm going to run it is I'm just going to have an extremely high extremely I don't know, interrogative, is that the right word? Like just basically an in-depth, that's the right word, an in-depth filtering system. So it's not like everyone can join. We can't have everyone joining, of course, because if I have everyone join the community, then the quality will slowly come down. But the way I want to run it is I want to have this community where people are basically just adding value to each other. It's just where people are sharing everything they learn along the journey. And a lot of times in these super high network groups, say if I speak to a couple of other people that do 6 and 7 figures on the platform, right, on Etsy and on eBay as well. But a lot of the time in these higher, like really high quality network groups, if you don't have the low, like the people who are new into the platform as well, a lot of the times what I find out is like some of these people just come onto the platform and they just start selling. They actually add an insane amount of value because they're new and they have a slightly different mindset to what I have, because I obviously started selling on the platform like a year ago, and some of the things I learned a year ago, which might have been slightly wrong or I could have done slightly differently, I'm still using today, which a beginner could come onto the platform and then teach me something or teach me a new way to do something. It's like, why are you not doing it this way? You should be doing this instead of this. Like, this is what these beginners are teaching me just because they learn things in different ways. And I think when we all learn and we all come into the platform, we all learn everything a slightly different way. Whatever you're doing, if you're doing business, if we're doing a sport, like learning how to swim or something, we all learn how to do something in slightly different ways. So that's why I think in these super high network, it's not always good to have people who are just selling, I don't know, a million worth of product every single month, because those people, obviously, they're going to know, they're probably going to add an insane amount of value. But what I'm saying is it's also good to have a contrast of people, because everyone can add value. And that's the aim of this community that I'm building, is to just have a place where everyone is adding value to each other and essentially helping each other out as much as we can. The aim is to have a group where when one person improves, everyone improves with that person, so you can make as much progress as we possibly can by learning off each other and actually taking each other's advice. And also a community. People say I've got my own community. They say join my community, but it's not really a community. It's just a place where people just ask questions. And I don't want that. I don't want a place where people are just asking questions. I want to have genuine, in-depth conversations about the business model that I'm doing, and actually have people who I can talk to about business and even about stuff outside of life. That's what a community is, right? We just talk about people. We just talk about stuff that's going on. Like friendships, right? Friendship groups almost, but also business related. And that's something that's significantly lacking in every single online business. There's no real community, because it says community on the title, but it's just messages back and forth. No one actually talks to each other. No one calls with each other. No one's actually building like friendships. I want to build friendships that are just long-term business relationships with other people that I can basically benefit from, they can benefit from as well, because it's very difficult to do that. And especially in this day and age with the online, everything being online, it's important that I think it's important that I make as much as I can off of the people that I'm like around, rather than just messaging them every day. Why don't I call them, talk to them, give them value, and try and receive value from them? And essentially the long-term play with this network is I never want to have too many people in there. That's why I said at the start, I have a very in-depth filtering process. And it's basically a little survey you fill out, and you go through it and you see, okay, is this person doing this? Are they doing that? Are they doing that? Are they going to add value to the group as well as receive value from the group as well? That's the most important thing, because I don't really want anyone coming into the group if they're not going to give any value. I don't want anyone coming to the group if they're not going to send a message for 2 months, So I want people to be active in there. I want people to be friendly and helpful. Helpful is the most important thing. And not really being beggy. A lot of the times when people come into these paid courses, like the $50 a month courses, you get people that are very beggy because they're new and they basically don't know what they're doing. And a lot of the times when people come into paid courses, they expect to be babysitted through, they're literally expected to be spoon-fed through the entire process of starting to sell on Etsy, for example. But anyway, I don't think I really explained what I actually do. I talked about online marketplaces, I talked about Etsy, eBay, etc. But EdPod Connect, this is the name of the community that I decided to pick, EdPod Connect. EdPod is my own fulfillment company. By the way, if you didn't know, that is my print-on-demand fulfillment company. So we specifically fulfill print-on-demand items for our customers. It's a B2B business. We don't do B2C. And that is, for example, if you have an Etsy store and you sell print-on-demand items, you come to us to supply your products. We send it direct to your customer, so you don't have to handle anything. It's very, very hands-off, very convenient, quick shipping, and basically it saves you from having to buy laser engraving equipment and any other big bits of equipment, which can be very expensive. So it's great to get started if you want to do something laser engraving, but you don't want to buy the laser engraver, for example, then you can come to us. If you want t-shirt printing as well, you come to us. So we basically like Printify or Printful, but just me. That makes sense. But anyway, that's what EdPod is. And basically I've called it EdPod Connect because it's off the back of my fulfillment company. And it is just a print-on-demand community or an online marketplace community. So basically I don't really want it to be drop shipping because I think drop shipping is completely different. And it's sort of, drop shipping isn't illegitimate, but it's more illegitimate than, say, print on demand, what we're doing, or actual handmade fulfillment or handmade selling, whatever, digital selling. It's a very different business model. So what I want this community to be is like an online marketplace community, but excluding drop shippers. But I guess if you're drop shipping, but if you want to get into print on demand, then this is the right place for you, right? So, I mean, if you did want to join, I guess we'll wrap it up there. There's not much else to say, but I just wanted to let you know what I'm doing. And I think other people should know about this. Is that if there are some people who think, okay, I'm doing, I don't know, 20, 30K a month, I want to be in on this, I want to learn from the guys inside of the group. I've got around 50 people in there already. And I only started it last Sunday. So a week ago after I'm recording this video. And I'll leave the link in the description to the Discord server. And then in the Discord server, if you go to I think it's called the Apply channel. Yeah, if you go in the Apply channel, I've got it up here. There's just a Google form. Just go ahead and fill that Google form out, and then I'll let you know as soon as I read through your Google form application if you've been accepted, or maybe what else you can do to get accepted do some follow-up questions, etc. But fill out the survey inside of the Discord server. It's just a Google form, won't take you too long, and then I'll let you know where we can go. So that's it for the community. That's what I've just started recently. It's a new step forward. It's just something new which people aren't really doing, and I think it's sort of a gap in the market which needs to be filled. And especially I'm making it with no financial incentives at all. I'm just making it to purely just build a community where people can learn and build off each other. I think the more high quality people we have inside of the group, the more money we're going to make together, you know? So it just makes it basically, I just want to bring everyone up. There's nowhere really like this, so that's why I started it. And also, just a quick plug, as I mentioned before, EdPod is my fulfillment company. That is the name. It's edpod.co. That's the website, edpod.co. And it's just a print-on-demand fulfillment. So it works in a similar way to Printify and Printful, but we provide better prices. And specifically, what we do is personalized and more unique goods. So if you want to sell some random, I don't know, specific vase you found on AliExpress or you found on somewhere, and you want us to source this vase for you, we can do that. We can add the personalization, we can add the engraving, we can add whatever you want to it. Basically, whatever you want, we'll make it for you, because oftentimes you'll go to somewhere like Printify and you want a specific type of tumbler, you want a specific type of like puff printing, we can do that as well. And you can't source it on Printify, Printful. We make it. Yeah, I can't remember what the slogan is, but just check the website out, edpod.co, and then Discord server, top link in the description. Remember, I'm not trying to steal you anything, just doing this purely for the value of the community.